Hello and welcome to Introduction to R. To open R, we double click on the icon, then a new window will pop up, that is the R console window. A few lines are printed here, that is the version, the R version, the date it was updated, the license, and a few other instructions to get you started. The last line here is a greater than prompt, which is waiting for an instruction. So you give her an instruction and it will give you the results. So that is how we open R. To quit R, you type Q, opening and closing bracket, then enter. A window will pop up asking you whether you want to save the workspace image or not. So in our case, we do not want to save, we will cancel because we want to continue with this. The other option of quitting is under the file menu, click exit. It will ask you the same and we cancel in our case. So how do we use the help function in R? So in case you need help in R, for example, you want to calculate the mean, you do not know how to do so in R. So to do so, we type help mean. So when you run this command, R will take us to the internet. Even though you are not online, R will just take you to the internet and it will give you the results. So in this case, we have the arithmetic mean, the usage, the arguments are explained, and a few examples down here to help you get started. You can run these examples and see how this works. So that is how we use the help. The other way is type a question mark in front of whatever you want to get the help from. For example, in our case, we want to get the mean. So question mark mean, that will give us the same. For special characters, for example, a plus, you have to enclose them in opening and closing quotes. So we want help for a plus sign. So we enclose this in opening and closing quotes. So that again is giving us the help window for plus. So that is how we get help in R. So commands can either, the commands consist of an expression or an assignment. So an expression is given as a command, it is evaluated, and it is printed and the value is lost. So for example, I want to get the sum of 7 plus 8. 7 plus 8. This is an expression. So if I run this command, it will get lost. The value will be given. The result is given as 15, but it is lost. On the other hand, for an assignment, it evaluates an expression. It will evaluate that expression. It will store the result into a variable. Then the only thing here that the result will not be printed out automatically as in the expression case. So for example, I have my variable, let me call it A. So this variable A, I use the assignment operator, which is the less than minus sign typed in together. That means I'm assigning A to this expression 7 plus 8. So if I run this command, the result is not automatically printed out, but I have my result stored in an object called A, or a variable called A. So to get this result printed out, you type print A or just A. So I have my result printed out. We can separate commands by a semicolon or by a different line like we have done. So I want to separate the same commands, 7 plus 8, and the other command print A. So I separate them by a semicolon, print A. So here I have my results. So I have separated the two commands. This one for A, 7 plus 8, and also the command for printing out the results. I can also separate commands by curly brackets. That opening curly bracket, there's a plus sign because we are R is telling you that you have not completed your command. So you need to continue typing to complete the command. So I want this command A7 plus 8. Still my command is not complete, so I get the plus prompt, then print A. Still my command is not complete, but I will complete it by closing the curly bracket and enter. So I've separated my commands. I've put all my commands inside the curly brackets. So again here I have my result as 15. So that is how we separate commands, either by a semicolon or by opening and closing curly brackets. Commands are case sensitive. So if I want to call capital A, because my command up there is a small a and I want to call capital A, I will get an error that object A not found. That means it does not know a capital A, but it only knows a small a. So if I print A, small a, then I get my result as 15 because it was already stored. It does not know a capital A, but it only knows a small a. That means that it is case sensitive. How do we recall or correct previous commands? So we can use the upward arrow on our keyboard, the upward arrow, the downward arrow, and the left and the right arrows to navigate through our commands. So to go back to history, for instance, I'm now clicking the upward arrow on my keyboard, and this is my downward arrow. So let me say I want to go back to this command and change the value 7 to maybe a 3. So I just go back using the same. Then I use the left arrow to go back to navigate within that command and change this to 5. Then click enter. So you just edit the commands using the backward and the forward arrows. That is how we recall commands and edit any command or delete. So we also have data permanency. All the commands that we've just entered, we can list them. They are listed in forms of objects. I think in our case we've only listed one, but let me list another one, at least a few. B is taking value 5, C 7, and D 18. So to list this command, I use this to list all the objects that I have. I use the ls command, opening and closing bracket. It will list for me all the objects that I have. In my case, I have so many other objects that I had before, but I have my A, my B, C, and D. That is how we have listed the commands. So if you want to remove any of these objects that you had listed, we use the rm function in bracket. Let me say I want to remove from my objects, I have females. Let me remove that one. Let me also remove fit1. I have removed. So to confirm that they are gone, you just list again. And you see that now I do not have the object females and the object fit1. That is, I have now cleared them from my history. So that is all under first part of introduction to R. Thank you and all the best.